Why Bitcoin rewrites the rules of society? What if I told you that the agreement holding our societies together is breaking, not in some distant future, but right now, under our feet? For centuries, the social contract has been simple. Governments provide order, protection, and infrastructure. In exchange, we pay taxes and give up certain freedoms. But today, cracks are forming. Debt spirals out of control. Trust in institutions is fading, and governments print money at will, breaking the very promises they were built upon. So the question becomes, if the old contract is breaking, what replaces it? Enter Bitcoin, a strange invention from 2009, dismissed at first as magic internet money. But what if Bitcoin is much more than money? What if it's the blueprint for a new social contract? Unlike governments, Bitcoin doesn't make promises it can break. It doesn't rely on trust in politicians or central banks. It enforces its rules automatically, with math, with code, with cryptography. In other words, Bitcoin is a self-enforcing contract, borderless, permissionless, immutable. Think about that. For the first time in history, humans can opt into a set of rules that no king, no president, no army can rewrite. This flips the idea of citizenship upside down. Traditionally, you're born into a nation. You inherit its laws, its taxes, its debts. You don't get a choice. But Bitcoin changes the game. What if citizenship could be voluntary? What if you could opt in simply by running software, holding keys, and agreeing to follow mathematical rules? That's the radical idea. Bitcoin as a form of digital citizenship, a parallel society without borders, grounded in math, not politics. You don't need permission to join, no passport, no government-issued ID. All you need is an internet connection and the willingness to opt in. And once you're in, the rules are the same for everyone. No special privileges, no too big to fail. Just one immutable rulebook, enforced by everyone, everywhere, all the time. Imagine what that means. A world where power doesn't flow from governments printing money, but from individuals voluntarily choosing a system that cannot be corrupted. It's almost like Bitcoin is a new nation, but instead of territory, its borders are digital. Instead of armies, its defense is cryptography. Instead of politicians, its governance is code. And unlike every nation before it, Bitcoin doesn't ask you to be born in the right place. It simply asks you to opt in. Some might say, but that's not a real society. There's no culture, no community. But look closer. Bitcoiners already share values: resilience, sovereignty, long-term thinking. They already form communities across the globe. They build businesses together, educate each other, and defend their network with almost religious conviction. This is more than money. This is a new kind of citizenship, bound not by geography, but by principles. But here's the hidden truth. The old social contract is designed to keep you locked in. Taxes, regulations, capital controls, surveillance, all of it ensures you can't simply walk away. Bitcoin offers the first real escape hatch, a way to opt out, quietly, peacefully, by storing your wealth in something no government can seize and no central bank can inflate. Think about what that means long term. If enough people opt in, governments lose their monopoly on money, and with it, their monopoly on control. Suddenly, the balance of power shifts. Citizens gain leverage. Governments have to compete for trust instead of ruling by force. And here's the paradox. Bitcoin doesn't need to overthrow governments. It simply makes them less relevant, one block at a time. So the real question is, Are we watching the birth of a new kind of nation? A borderless, voluntary, incorruptible nation made of math and code? Or is this just a temporary illusion? Something governments will crush once they realize what's happening? History suggests once a better contract emerges, the old one struggles to survive. The printing press destroyed the monopoly of the church. The internet weakened the monopoly of traditional media. And now, Bitcoin is weakening the monopoly of governments over money. The old world is based on coercion. Pay taxes or go to jail. Obey laws or face punishment. The new world is based on choice. Opt in or opt out. Voluntarily, without violence. That's the hidden knowledge most people don't see. Bitcoin isn't just number go up. It's a silent revolution in how humans organize themselves. And maybe, just maybe, in the future, when your children ask where you're from, you won't just say a country's name, you'll say, I'm a citizen of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin isn't just money. It's a new social contract. One that doesn't break. One that doesn't lie. One that doesn't inflate away your life's work. And unlike governments, Bitcoin doesn't need you to believe in it. It will keep running, block by block, whether you notice or not. But here's the twist. The sooner you opt in, the more power you have when the old contract finally breaks. So ask yourself, do you want to stay locked in the old deal, paying for promises that can't be kept? Or do you want to opt into a new one, enforced not by men, but by math? The choice is yours. But understand this. For the first time in history, the social contract is no longer a prison. It's a door. A door you can walk through whenever you're ready, into a new world. A world where citizenship is voluntary, money is incorruptible, and power is decentralized. This is the hidden story of Bitcoin. Not just money, not just investment, but the seed of a new civilization. And the people who recognize it early, they're not just investors, they're pioneers. They're the first citizens of a digital nation that cannot be stopped. So while the rest of the world argues about price charts, regulations, or whether Bitcoin is real money, the deeper truth is unfolding quietly, in plain sight. The social contract is being rewritten, not in Parliament, not in Congress, but in code, by anyone willing to opt in. And here's the secret. No one can force you in, and no one can force you out. That's the essence of freedom. So when people laugh at Bitcoin, or dismiss it, or say governments will shut it down, remember this. Bitcoin is not a company. It's not a law. It's not a country. It's an idea whose time has come. And as history shows, once an idea's time has come, it cannot be stopped. So the only question left is, when the old contract finally collapses, where will you stand? Will you cling to the crumbling walls of a broken system? Or will you step into a borderless future where your citizenship, your money, and your freedom are all under your control? This isn't just economics, it's the story of human freedom, and Bitcoin is the next chapter. If this perspective opened your eyes, if it made you think about Bitcoin in a way you've never heard before, then don't just walk away. Like this video, share it, and subscribe. Because here, we're not chasing hype or clickbait. We're uncovering the deeper truths about money, power, and freedom. The truths no one else will tell you. And remember, Bitcoin isn't just a currency, it's a new social contract. And you get to decide if you'll be part of it.